Offbeat Intros is a section of the show devoted to learning more about the artist. The YouTube channel is to promote the show. If you would like to hear full songs, please use one of the links in the video description to listen to the full show.
This is Offbeat.
This is Offbeat.
Offbeat Intros brings the tunes and a story of a different artist each time. And in this show, we come to someone that I've been a fan of since the show began. He appeared on episode 4 back in August of 2019, and I'm pleased to have managed to get him onto the show for a chat. From Hungary, this guy has spent a lot of time travelling around the world and has become internationally recognised as a singer and an MC. He likes a collaboration and has done so with some really cool people and some very, very cool tunes in his back catalogue, which we will no doubt get to shortly. Welcoming to the Offbeat Reggae Radio show, Gregory G Ras. How's it going?
Respect. Thank you very much. Give thanks for having me on your show for the second time already. It's a great honor.
The first part of this feature allows us to give you the opportunity to tell us about what's brought you to this point of your career. So what kicked it all off for you and how did you get to where you are?
Okay, I got into music around the age of 16, 17. I started to learn to play the drums, percussion, and I moved to Budapest, the capital city of Hungary, because I grew up in a smaller town. I went to University of Sociology. There, I met some people and I got involved in the formation of the first Jamaican-style live reggae band of Hungary. That was in 2005. The band was called Rhythm Colony, and that was the first band in Hungary that played Jamaican-style reggae, like trying to use patois and Jamaican kind of English, stage show style, you know, the playing style of the Jamaican artists and bands, and playing rhythms and dancehall and this kind of things. That got me into the music and the culture. I had dreadlocks by then for 1 year at that time, but it was more just a surface thing. I really loved the music and the groove and the vibe, and I started to go to parties, especially in the big city. Life opened up for me there. And then the next few years, I really fell in love with reggae music and the rasta culture and everything. I really started to educate myself. I just fell into it totally. I began to sing, write lyrics first, and then sing and DJ, like, you know, the toasting style and things like that. I became the sole lead singer of the band, and I started to do my solo stuff as well with different producers and DJs and sound systems. And yeah, now it's almost 17 years later. Reggae music gave me so much, really. During the years, I learned so much about myself and the world and life and music. So I really try and give back as much as possible. And, you know, in the meantime, I really got into the lifestyle as well. I'm really into the mission, the message, the movement. So music is not at all a business or a career for me. I try and use the music itself, my songs and the live shows and all the platforms I have, thanks to music, to strengthen the movement. That was that's my family actually walking by.
Oh, nice. Hi. So let's talk about some of the collaborations that you've done in the past, because you have worked with some very cool people.
Yeah. I mean, a lot of amazing people. Music connected me to amazing brothers and sisters. 2015 was the first year, after 10 years of doing reggae music, 2015 was the first time when I could reach Jamaica, the center, the heart chakra of reggae and rasta and everything. There I connected to amazing people like Micah Shamaya. He's one of my greatest inspirations anyway, one of the realest, deepest rasta roots singers, totally underrated. Diraja from that first year, and then Jehovah Evil family, that's really close to me as artists and as brethren as well, and we're gonna get back to this later. So many different artists, like probably the best known one is Dub FX, who is a really close friend of mine. We know each other since 2013 when we did an album with Rhythm Colony. Asked him if he wants to do a collaboration or something after watching one of his shows in Hungary. Yeah, he really loved the material, so we did a collaboration. We met and we did like some live jam session street show. Every time he comes to Hungary, I go to open for him, and then we do different stuff together. And then in 2018, I invited him to Jamaica, because since 2015, every year I spend a few months in Jamaica. I did that till 2019. We arranged a series of recordings for him, like dub plates with different artists, and one of that was a collaboration between me and him. That's probably the best known piece of music from me. It's a jam, Real Revolutionary and Life Over That, which is 2 tunes that in a studio version are on my 2020 album called Rebel for Life. But this is like a live jam with him. There's countless amazing artists and producers and bands I've worked with, because I really believe in collaboration. I know some artists who prefer doing their own stuff. I'm a person who really love this uniting, cooperating element of music. So I really do love to make as many collaborations as possible in as many styles and genres as possible. So I try and experiment with different styles.
Gotcha. Okay. Well, it's really good that we've gone from collaborations into your first song, which is indeed a collaboration, and from the new album, which we'll talk about straight afterwards. So would you like to introduce the first song that we're going to hear from you today?
Yeah, this is actually a perfect start, because for me, music and my life and the mission, this is all one thing. Everything is totally connected. And this collaboration is actually with my wife and the mother of my children. This is the first song of the album, and this is called Give Thanks, and it's all about being grateful for life. So this is called Give Thanks from the album Book of Noah, with the amazing Thelma Lincoln, who is the empress of my life.
It's the Offbeat Reggae Radio Show. G Ras and Thelma Lincoln, Give Thanks. Track number 1 of the brand new album. We're going to be playing 2 tracks from that today. It is entitled Book of Noah. I understand that it is a concept album. Can you tell us what that's all about?
Yeah, this is my 8th proper album. I had 4 with Rhythm Colony, and then a few solo ones. The last big one I did was in 2020 called Rebel for Life. And that was a concept album as well, with 13 songs following the concept of the 12 tribes of Israel, which is a rasta concept, obviously coming from the Bible and all different roots. And this one, Book of Noah, this follows 2 concepts that really connect to each other. One is the laws of Noah from the Bible. They are supposed to be the original 7 commandments for all humankind. Like the 10 commandments in the Torah, in the Bible originally is for the Jewish people, and then whatever. It's a long story. But before that, exactly after the flood, there's a concept in the Jewish tradition that Noah already got 7 commandments that is for all humankind. Every human being, every decent human being, to be righteous, you need to follow these 7 commandments. And then, other end of the world, in the Indian, the Vedic civilization, there is this concept of the 7 chakras, the 7 energy centers of humans. The album follows these 2 concepts, and each song represents 1 law of Noah and also 1 chakra. The first one, Give Thanks, that we just heard, this is about the first commandment, and this is about the crown chakra, which is the 7th, but going from up to down, and this is the connection with the Most High. Also, the first law, to glorify God. For me, it means really to glorify life, to be grateful, to realize the blessing and wonder of life, and being grateful, which gives you a lot of energy and power in life to do good, to live a good life. It goes on until the 7th one, and it's an album of 8 songs. There is an 8th song which is a dub version of the 2nd song. It's called Signs, with an amazing brother, Jaloman from Italy, an amazing singer. That is all about recognizing and realizing the signs that we have all around, to look beyond, to see what all this is really about. It perfectly connects with the 2nd chakra, the 6th one. So the 3rd eye, and the dub version of that one is the 8th song, kind of to sum up the whole thing. It's a conscious concept. So you need to read between the lines. You need to try and look beyond the surface of reality. And so this is like a final message to sum up the album. So that's why it's not 7 songs on the album, but 8. Like that's kind of the concept in short.
Right, okay. Well, we've spoken about the meaning of it. If somebody's more into the tune, how would you explain the journey musically?
I guess it's a more cheerful roots song. I wrote the rhythm as well, so it's not a classic one, but the style, I guess, is a old school root style. I would say, but more cheerful one, the major chords, the sunny and cheerful and positive. Yeah, but roots. There's different styles. There's dub and stepas, like two strong is like heavy stepas that can be played in the real sound systems, like One of my favorites really is the one with Awa Fall, who is an amazing African/Italian singer, amazing upcoming artist, very young and very, very talented, amazing human being as well. And then there's even an Afrobeat song, which is also with my Empress. It's kind of an Afrobeat groove because I really love African music and Afrobeats, original Afrobeat, like Fela Kuti style, and this new Afrofusion and Afropop and Afrobeat as well. So it's kind of versatile. There's some rubber dub on it, steppers, a real dub. I try to make it colorful.
I'm in this very lucky position where I just get very cool music sent to me. So I've had a listen to the music, the music that you've recently done, and again, as with much of the other stuff that you've done, I'm loving it. I think it's really, really good. Book of Noah is out on digital platforms at the moment. If people do want to go and have a full listen to the whole thing, we've got the next song, Justice, on the way. But just before we whack that on, can we talk about what your plans are for the rest of the year? Maybe into next. Have you got any gigs, festivals, any more releases, things that you'd like to promote?
Yeah. I'm really involved in political and environmental and vegan and other types of activism. That's an important part of my life as well. And in Hungary, the situation right now is really sticky. So I got a lot of problems with the law as well because of peaceful civil resistance. I stand up for justice, even if I have to break the law of the land. And there's election time in Hungary, like in April. I'm going to have Hungarian language EP out, which directly talks about the political situation in Hungary. But also there's a lot of new songs and albums on the way, different EPs, and next bigger album is coming up too. Right now, working with different producers and other artists. So there's a lot of musical plans too. So we'll see how it goes with the family, with the activism, political changes. Now all this tension and tragedies that's happening right next to our border, totally affecting our country as well and all the world. It's revolution and radical change, the time of revolution and the time of radical changes for all the world, for all humankind. So that's totally the focus of my music. That's why I'm really into rasta as well, talking about this lifestyle, the clean, eco, vegan, whatever, these new types of things. Rasta is talking about this for a long, long time. This is a concept of how to live peacefully in harmony with nature in a healthy and spiritually clean way. I strongly believe that this is one key element to save the future for humankind and for this planet. So that's why I'm really doing this, and that's why I do not really have like business and career type of plans. I'm more into revolutionary and movement and mission type of plans, how to set up different eco communities, how to influence as many people as possible to change their lifestyles, to put pressure on the decision makers, to make radical changes in the political and economical system. So that's really my focus point. So I try and find the connections that can help this type of mission. And in the meantime, I'm really honored and I'm really grateful that people like you keep supporting and spreading my music. But really and truly, why I'm really happy because of this is that the message is spreading and that it helps the mission. And this song, Justice, is a perfect representation for that. Simple words, using Martin Luther King's words, who's a special person for me, great influence. And also my second son was born exactly on the birthday of Martin Luther King in 2020, 15th of January. And just like him said, injustice anywhere is a threat to justice everywhere. But also he said, we shall overcome, because the arc of the moral universe is long, but it bends towards justice.
From the brand new album Book of Noah, it is Gregory G Ras and Justice. We're looking towards influences now. Who is it that you would like to talk about? Who do you consider an influence? And we'll get round to who you would like me to play a song from.
There's so many amazing artists and producers and bands all around that I cannot list all of them. A lot of artists and producers from the past and from the pioneering era of reggae influences me and inspires me greatly, and also a lot of current artists. I mentioned Micah Shamaya, who is like a real role model for me in music, his approach and everything, and he's a real good brother as well. I really love conscious artists like Bushman, and also in Hungary and all around and in Europe. There's more and more great talent and amazing works. I could list really a lot of people.
You're in a position where you don't want to necessarily miss anybody out. But
yeah, because so many of them are my friends as well.
Yeah, sure.
There's so many amazing artists in Europe, in Hungary, and then, of course, in Jamaica and all around the world.
Okay, I'll tell you what, let me be the horrible person that makes you pick 3. I did ask for some suggestions from you before the interview, and then we were going to play a song. So let's go with those. You sent across Desiree, Dennis Brown, and Joe.
Okay, yeah. Okay, let's talk about that. Well, I definitely wanted to put at least one legend, one pioneer when you asked me to pick 3 inspirational artists. And yeah, many say, actually most Jamaicans say that the number 1 singer in Jamaica ever is Dennis Brown. Like, obviously the king of reggae and the best known artist in the world in reggae is Bob Marley. And he named Dennis Brown the crown prince of reggae, which is kind of a number 2 position. But in Jamaica, mostly he's respected as the best singer of all time, or many people say that he's the best. And he inspired so many amazing artists. His singing style, amazing, really a great artist. I really love his vibe, his energy, his voice, his skills. Amazing artist. I really love Dennis Brown, and there's no moment that cannot be sweetened with a little bit of Dennis Brown. And then another inspiration that I chose is Desiree, who is a female artist, a queen of reggae from the Virgin Islands, not from Jamaica. She's connected to Midnight and the late great Aka Becca, and you know, like very deep, very roots, very rasta type of reggae music. Desiree is into this as well, like totally conscious and rasta and only roots, and you know, like very deep. And then a third one that is probably the most personal from these 3. I chose this song from Little Joe, this song called Rasta Chant. Not many people know Little Joe because of his tragic life. He died very young. He was a very talented, amazing young Rasta artist in Jamaica, right before this new wave of roots and Rasta in Jamaican music. You know, Protege and Chronics and this new generation that many people call it Roots Revival, but then many people say Roots never died, so it doesn't need to be revived. And he was a pioneer of that, and he was actually he was pioneering before these well-known artists, and he really brought in this style, this singing style, this approach, and he doesn't really get the credit that he would deserve, mostly because of the tragic accident that happened to him. And so basically he died before he could turn into a successful big artist. And then others took this vibe and flow and message and made it really successful and spread it, which is a good thing. But one of the real greats who was one of those who started this, Little Joe, he doesn't really get the credit he deserves. So I'm really happy that you chose this song from these 3 so we can support it. And also, it's very personal for me. He is the brother of 2 twin brothers, Gideon and Sila, from Jah Over Evil family, because Joe stands for Jah Over Evil. And they have a whole family and yard, and that was one breeding ground of this so-called Roots Revival. Like, many people started there in a way, even Chronics, many of those people who are now like the biggest people in this movement. Jah Over Evil was really one of the very important starting points. And these people are our closest family in Jamaica. His actual brothers, Gideon and Sila, they are very close to me. I have songs together with them. So we have the musical connection. We are true brothers. They are basically our closest family in Jamaica. When we go to Jamaica with my family, we stay at their place. They are really close. And this actual song, Rasta Chant, very powerful song. I think it has a Nyabingi bass. It's on a digital rhythm, but it has this Nyabingi flow. So it's really like a chant. It's really powerful because when in 2019, I was there with my older son, Martin, and my Empress. We sang this song to the baby boy of Sila, of one of these brothers, because we had him, as uncle and auntie many times. And we sang this song for him so many times, the song of his late great uncle. 2 months later, my Empress got pregnant. All through the pregnancy, we sang this song so many times. And then ever since he was born, we sang this song. I'm grateful that you chose this one. It's a very powerful song, and maximum respect to Jehovah Evil family and Liquor Joe every time.
Jehovah Evil, right?
Right, we're nearly done then. Just had the influence track, or should I say the track that I ended up choosing for him to make life that little bit easier, but still very important to him, Joe and Rasta Chants. Mr. G Ras, thank you so much for being on the show. It's been an absolute pleasure.
Yo, it's a great honor. Thank you so much. I'm very grateful. Thank you so much for...
Now, if people want to find out that little bit more about you, how do you suggest they go about it?
Okay, well, I got all this online stuff. I don't have a website just as yet, but I have Facebook, Gregory G Ras, and Instagram. Probably the most useful with the most content is my YouTube channel, youtube.com/Gregory G Ras. Basically, all my albums are uploaded. I made different playlists to include as much music from me as possible. So a lot of live videos, especially from, COVID times. We did a lot of live streams of different types, acoustic vibes, and then all the music videos, all my albums and singles. Maybe not 100% everything, but the most things from me they can find there. I also got a Bandcamp. If anyone wants to support, they can find my latest album. I mean, not this one, not Book of Noah, but Rebel for Life from 2020. And an EP. People can support me there. I also got a Patreon site. Again, Gregory G Ras. They can find me on Patreon if anybody wants to support the mission. And on most digital platforms, they can find Book of Noah right now. More and more music videos and songs, singles, and albums coming all the time. And maybe sometime in the future, I'm going to have a website as well. There's quite a few ways to link me. And I really like to connect to people, especially if it's about some nice projects, some positive projects, musical or environmental or whatever. I'm really into these kind of things. So I'm really happy when people from anywhere in the world and connect to me about some certain projects to try to work on something. I really love to cooperate and collaborate on positive, uplifting, constructive projects. I'm totally open for that if anybody wants to link me. And I'm really, really grateful for your support and for the amazing support from all around the world. And I try to learn to humble myself more and more and keep in mind that this is not about me, but this is all about the music and even more importantly, the message, the mission. So thanks for the support and let's just push it, brothers and sisters, and save this world in time.
It's at this stage where I would usually say that every single featured artist gets their own page, but you know what? Yours has been there from 2019 already. I will update it though with new and updated stuff, but I did find out something very, very cool. If you type in Gregory G Ras into the Googles, guess whose website is there at the #1 listing for you? Yeah, it's me. How awesome is that? So that's quite fun. Yeah, that's quite fun.
Thank you. Amazing. Respect. And thank you.
So maybe I've been helping people find you that little bit easier for a couple of years now anyway.
For sure. Thank you so much. Thank you for your works. Amazing.
No trouble. Right. Okay. I will push on with the show now, get some more tunes on, but thank you so much for your time. It's been lovely having you on.
Yeah. Thank you, brother. Thank you. Amazing.